If you don't mind, I'm just going to build this in the background so I don't have to be on camera. The Mandalorian and Grogu, 2026. I'll start off nondescript and get into spoilers later in the video. Let me start off by saying the movie is for fans of the series, especially fans of the vibe in these two characters. If you don't like Mandoisms, you don't like Baby Yodaisms, this movie probably won't win you over. Plot-wise, it's pretty straightforward. Mando, being a bounty hunter, goes on a job, things go unexpectedly, things go south, there's a climax, and then there's a denouement. Normal stuff. Theme-wise, Mando's worried whether or not he's done enough as a father for Grogu. After all, the kid's kind of an idiot. My words, not the film's. Granted, he's an idiot because he's basically a kindergartner. But his species ages so slowly that Mando's rightfully unsure that he'll be able to teach little Grogu to fend for himself in a meaningful time frame. You can't protect him forever in a galaxy with gangsters, Imperial remnants, and a host of dangers for someone his size. That's basically the conflict at the heart of the film. Though continuity-wise, you don't have to have watched all 3 seasons to follow what's going on, it does assume you're going into this knowing who Mando is, who Grogu is, and what their whole deal is. It also expects you to know a little, though not a lot, about their lore from the shows and to appreciate some of the moments. It doesn't spend a lot of time on introductions and relies on relationships and archetypes. That lady is a captain, the guy is a friend, etc. That said, it is a self-contained story. It doesn't feel like a continuation of the plotline of the show as much as its own thing. To address a criticism I see in a lot of thumbnails and titles, yes, it does kind of feel more like a few episodes of the show stuck together, just with a higher budget. Specifically, it feels like a special presentation, a la Werewolf by Night or The Punisher One Last Kill, not really affecting the world as a whole, but moving the characters forward. Overall, as a fan of the series, I give it a solid 7. If I didn't like Mando and Grogu already, I'd probably give it closer to a 6. It never bored me, even in the slower moments. The slower moments are actually the emotional core of the film, and I thought they were done quite well. It did keep the vibe of the show, which to some degree hurt it as a movie. Family-friendly might be too strong a term, but I was expecting it to have an emotional hook like more of a Pixar film. If you haven't seen the show, something like the end of season 2, where Mando has to sacrifice more than just his safety to give Grogu the life he deserves. That's what I was expecting. The only other real criticism I have is the same as with Solo. Because it doesn't drive the galaxy forward per se, or maybe it will, only time will tell, it has to work harder to justify itself in the minds of the audience, and it just kind of exists. But the performances were good, the choreography was good, the CGI was mostly good. There was a giant monster that didn't look quite right, but it was generally a good time. As for spoilers in no particular order, in terms of the impact of the galaxy at large, the most significant thing that happens is the heads of the Hutt cartel are taken out, and a couple no-name Imperial remnants are taken off the board. We'll see how and if this matters later. Dave Filoni reprises his role as X-Wing pilot Trapper Wolf in 2 scenes, the first of which sees him in his famous cowboy hat. Martin Scorsese, after going off on blockbusters like the MCU films as not being real cinema, plays a CGI alien in this film. I'm pretty sure this is the first Star Wars film without a single lightsaber. Rogue One had the hallway scene. In Solo, Kira talks with Darth Maul via holocom, and he ignites his lightsaber just before the ending call. No lightsabers in this one. When Rod of the Hutt wins a gladiatorial match he wasn't supposed to, his owner calls a Dejarik round and sends the creatures from holochess after him, and the floor even looks like the chessboard. In a move that may disappoint many, Grogu does not say his first words in this film. That's it for now. If you've seen the film, tell me what you think of it. If you haven't, let me know if this review made you want to run to the theater or steer clear of it. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe for more vids.